Hey, this is Aaron.
And Blake, we're AB Data.
Thanks for walking through this Alteryx Weekly challenge with us.
In this video, we're taking a look at weekly challenge number 241, Friday the 13th. This is a fun challenge that we're going to be utilizing the Generate Rows tool on. So we're going to need to go up to our blue preparation category and select Generate Rows. And let's go ahead and just open an example and take a look at the example for Generate Rows before we go on and try to attack this weekly challenge. So I hit the run button to pull data through, and this is the way that we're going to use this, is we're going to use generate rows as a standalone data set. But let's look at the example with dates real quick, just so we can see what we're going to have to do here. So in this example, we're looking at an account open and account closed to generate the dates. We're going to do something similar where we're going to be using the end of the year 2020 and the beginning of the year 1900 as our start and end times. This loop expression down at the bottom is going to be important to me. I'm going to go ahead and copy it because I'm going to use it in a little while, this date time add. So let's grab a generate rows and start to build out our expression. First thing I want to do is create a new field called date. I want that to initialize on the first day of 1900. So I'm going to put in 1900 January 1st as my initialization expression. For my loop expression, I want to paste what I stole from earlier from the generate rows example, date time add. We're going to add 1 day to each of these. And then our condition is we want our date to run until we get until the end of 2020. So that's what the question was asking for. How many have there been since 1900? I guess we're including today, or we're including this Friday since there's going to be one. We really could have made that a date time now in order to figure out a true answer. But we've generated a record for each day from the beginning of 1900 up through the end of 2020. First day of 2021, I guess. And now we just need to identify our records where we have Fridays, where we have the 13th as well. So first we're going to create a year column because we do have to summarize this by year. So we're going to say we want to use a date time year function, and we're pointed at our date field. It's going to give us a new field called year that's just going to be incrementing up depending on what year the record occurs in. Next up, we're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing for the day of the week, but let's just say that we don't use these date time specifiers very often, and we can't remember what day of the week is. So I'm going to put in my date time format here. I'm going to point it at my date field, hopefully. And then if I can't remember what specifier to use, I can go over, well, in this case, I went ahead and used %A because I remembered. But if I didn't remember, I can go and I can search for date time. I'm going to go ahead and rather than pulling up the date time tool, I'll go to the tool mastery for date time and select the tool mastery article because I know that that will probably have the link that I need in there. So I bring that over. Here's the link for the date time functions. And here's my specifier for the full weekday, or if I wanted the abbreviated weekday, I could do it as well. I'm going to go ahead and bookmark this page so that I have it handy. So either one would have worked, the abbreviated or the full one. Either one's fine. We finally need to do the same thing for the day of the week. So we have our, or I'm sorry, the day of the month. So we need to pull out the 13th as well. We're going to go ahead and say day of the month, date time format, date, and then for my specifier page, I figured out that it's going to be % lowercase d that I need. And that will pull out the day of the month. So now all that I need is a filter and a summarize tool, and we will be through this challenge. So first I'm going to grab a filter. I'm going to select the column called day of the week, say equals Friday, swap it over to a custom filter, and say I want the day of the week equals Friday and the day of the month equals the 13th. Let's hit the run button and see what we've filtered down to. Now we only have 209 records, down from our 44,000. If you don't like Friday the 13th, chances are you're not going to hit a whole lot of them. So next up, we're going to go ahead and we're going to group by our year. And then I guess all that we want to do, since we filtered everything down here, is we just want to count how many records we have for each year. So we're also going to count those. And that ends up with 121 records that I'm very confident in compared to the 121 that were provided by Alteryx. Thanks.
Thank you for learning with us today. Good luck on your Alteryx journey.
For more information on custom training, managed service automations, and more, please visit our website at abdataconsulting.com.